I don't know that charter schools have actually had a great impact on public schools yet. I know that there's a big rise, and in the state legislature, they are trying to give more funding for charter schools, but I don't know that it's had a great impact yet. We may see that impact in a few years, but a lot of what I see is charter schools are failing just as they are succeeding, just like public schools are failing and succeeding. Do I think that there will be a big shift with a lot of students going to charter schools? Not really, no. I see a lot of charter schools becoming a little more specialized than public schools, but I don't necessarily see a great big shift in students going from public schools to charter schools.
On the topic of charter schools, it's an interesting concept. It's a novel concept. The notion that curriculum can be customized and to allow more flexibility and autonomy with an administration and a staff in terms of how they want instructional delivery to look. I think it's something that has a lot of promise. However, when it comes to funding, specifically public school funding from our state, it's become kind of a tug of war, if you will. We have lost funding to the growing demand of charter schools in our state, and that becomes a hardship. That becomes very problematic for public schools, given that we need every dollar that is available. There's no question about that. And I think if you look at our legislature and their agenda and some of the legislation that has passed as of late, it's a bit telling that this growing demand for charter schools isn't going away anytime soon. So if it's already tight right now in terms of the funding that the public schools receive, then what will that look like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when charter schools aren't run by the state, when they're run by for-profit companies? That is concerning, especially when we really are, definitely reliant on state funding to function and function effectively. I would say one negative impact that charter schools have, and that I believe, is that there is a certain level of exclusivity that comes with the charter schools. The fact that they're not required to provide lunches and transportation, I feel, definitely limits their student population and is a deterrent for those less fortunate, and that is problematic. So those are my thoughts.